do you think Nintendo is going to make the next console an absolute beast or base it on fun?
Ooh, okay. Let's see. Now, here's the question. With all of the consoles Nintendo has put out, have any single one of them be considered just as powerful as the other competing consoles at the time? Because I think the answer is no, for the most part.
The 3DS. I was gonna make a joke.
The 3D.
No.
Yeah. Right? Because you got the where's you got, like, people look at this, right?
Yes.
And say, what is this? Right? When I saw this controller for the first time, I'm like, what is this? And
What is it?
And then I played Ocarina of Time and I said, oh my god, I get it now, right? If Nintendo decides to base their console off of a super powerful chip or anything like that to achieve hyper realistic graphics, I think that they doom the console to fail. I think that the Nintendo, I guess, charm, yet again, Nintendo Switch has games. I think putting too much work into having a console that is super high on the specs graph, it doesn't need like a 4090 Ti or whatever to make a super realistic game, because at the end of the day, you're not playing the Switch 2 for the hyper realistic reflections off of Mario's Kart in Mario Kart. You're playing it for Mario Kart, right? And I think that's something that a lot of people end up getting caught up in nowadays, is that a console's power in terms of graphical capability and fidelity does not determine its worth. What determines it really is the games. And does it have good games? It better have good games, because if it doesn't have good games, that's not a good console, you know? If it's not fun, why bother? That's what I say.
Yep. If it's not fun, why bother? Yeah, I mean, I definitely see it being based on fun. Obviously, each console's gonna have more power. That's no surprise at all. I'd be pretty upset if the Switch 2, whatever it is, had the same power as the Switch. That would suck.
I don't think that would happen. But if it would, I would laugh a lot, personally. I think that'd be really funny.
How many units does that sell?
If it's just the exact same, I think that's a Wii U situation. If it's the exact same. There has to be a noticeable jump. There has to be a noticeable jump from the Switch to the Switch 2 in order for people to go, oh, it's a new console, right? But there also has to be different enough from the Switch to distinguish that, you know, it's not just an add-on like the Wii U was suggested to be by so many people. So all I'm saying, the dual screen approach, it's gonna work.
It would be perfect. But
really
yeah,
would.
definitely they'll base that on fun. They've never been about the biggest, baddest console. If they ever have, or if they ever do, it'll probably fail. So yeah, they'll make it fun somehow. I think it'll look very noticeably different from the Switch that we have now. Like whether it's the dual screens or whatever it is.
I think the concept of Joy-Cons will still stay. But this time, instead of having like 1, 2 for the controllers, it'll be 1, 2, and then 3 for the screen that you can slide on top of the ridge there. And like that, you'll still have to carry around like the base console, but then you can have the top screen and then the right and left Joy-Cons in there. And then that top screen's on a hinge. You can flip it around whatever way you want. And I just think it's going to open up a lot more gameplay opportunities, especially for more casual players. I mostly play my Switch when it's docked, hooked up to my capture card. And so I don't really get a chance to play handheld that often. But whenever I do, it's always a fun time, whether it be with like friends or otherwise, or whether I'm using doing brain training with my stylus, doing Sudoku on it, like a drawing tablet, stuff like that. Nintendo's always innovating and iterating on their past designs. I know that there's been, I don't want to bring up rumors again, but they've said that the Switch 2 is going to be an iteration and not a revolution. And the Wii U to the Switch was not a revolution. It was just another iteration. So if we see another iteration like that again, I'm just all here for it.
Yeah, exactly. It's going to be fun to see what they do. Will they add one more screen? Will they make it super fat? Who knows?
Who knows?
Attention, can you hear me? The clip that you just watched from my podcast, The Mario Matter, your favorite Nintendo podcast, has just ended. If you want to see the full episode, click right here. If you want to subscribe to this channel or my main channel, click one of these channels down here. It's all great stuff. Adios from another life.